Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, I know, I'm really sorry about that. Everything has been quite hectic. I've had an exam, I've currently got 4 assignments, there were 5. In fact, technically it's 3 assignments, but one of them involves 3 different essays, so to me, that's not 1 assignment, that is 3 assignments. Just saying. Today's video, I am actually going to tell you all about my course. I know it has taken a while, but I've just been finding my feet. I didn't really know what to expect when I started, so I couldn't tell you all about my course because I hadn't done it yet. So now I've had a whole term and I think I can talk about it because you've got a lot of questions. I've had quite a few questions. What do I study? Well, I study Forensic Archaeology and Anthropology. Forensic Archaeology it's like the study of archaeological methods and theory, but in a forensic context, so in a legal context for the judicial system, working on like missing persons cases. The job of a forensic archaeologist is largely to do with search and location. So for example, the use of geophysical survey to locate grave sites, for example, or a forensic archaeologist will also, well, they should be called in to assess a grave in terms of to see if there's any tool marks to actually excavate it in the first place. That I think at the minute is what I'm most interested in because I've always done archaeology, that's what I've enjoyed most. The forensic anthropology side is all about the body itself. So the archaeologist isn't really within their remit to comment on, say, the age of the skeleton, the sex of the skeleton, the time since death, for example, and that is what the anthropologist does. So they look at taphonomy, which means changes to the bone after it's been deposited, after it's in the ground, and also they look at the actual skeleton itself, like the morphology and stuff, to see if they can learn anything. That again is really cool and I do love it, but I haven't done the module yet, so I can't tell you anymore. Well, I've done one, there's two anthropology modules. One is kind of the basics, which is pretty much exactly what I did at undergrad, so I felt a bit more comfortable doing those lectures than I have, say, for the physics side of stuff. But I think for me the more exciting module is next term, where we actually get to physically hold like different bones and assess pathology. That interests me, like actually physically doing stuff. I'm not a book learner, I need to have my hands on things to learn, so I'm excited for this. My actual biggest fear at the moment is Corona, meaning that all of my practicals are cancelled because they've been moved to after Christmas. Who's gonna tell you or me? So one of the main questions I got asked is like, what's the split between theory and practical? Well, so I think you can probably gather from what I've said, it has been largely theory based so far, and a lot of the practicals have been pushed to next term. I've done 3 full weeks of like practical learning, and the first one was the one with the CSI stuff that I did in this vlog. We only actually got 1 day of practical, and normally it would have been a whole week of like lab based stuff, so like DNA testing if it's blood in a sample, for example, and we couldn't do any of that. We had to try and do it from home. It was okay, but I'm hoping we'd get to do some of that in real life next term. We also had a 2-week module on techniques, analytical techniques. My worst nightmare other than stats, purely because it was all online. And if I don't understand it and I can't physically do it and I'm just staring at a screen, it's not going to go in. And half of it didn't go in, so now I'm having to teach it myself, which is not ideal, but next term we are meant to do all of those practicals. So we'll get a chance to use all of the equipment, do all of the techniques. It's just going to be next term. I spent so long trying to decide what to take home, and I was like, Rosie, you will not be leaving the house. You know full well you will only be wearing leggings and sweatpants for the next month. So why are you thinking about what to wear on New Year's Eve? You're not going anywhere on New Year's Eve, so get a grip. Modules wise on this course, for my course, because I do Forensic Archaeology and Anthropology, we have a lot more core modules. We have to do all the archaeology and anthropology modules as part of our course, meaning we only have 3 options, like 3 option modules that we can choose. They're called electives. 3 electives, and I think we have 7 core modules. I think that's how it works. It might be more, I'm not gonna lie. But if you do forensic investigation, then you have 7 electives. You can still choose all the archaeology ones, but they're not compulsory. I just knew I'm gonna choose them anyway, so what is the point in me not doing forensic archaeology? That's what I know I love, that's the reason I chose the course in the first place. Just do it. So the ones I've chosen, you've seen one of them already, that's environmental forensic science. That was the one where I did entomology. It's the video with a fly in the thumbnail. And that was completely practical all week, it was all face-to-face, so if you're interested in how this course works normally, that is probably a really good video to watch. Another module that I chose is practical archaeological excavation. That's not happening till May, and that's provisionally in May, like depending on the situation. Last year I think they had to do it in July or August. Hopefully this year should be fine to go ahead. But I'm very, very excited to actually learn more on this, and I think because we're all master's students, we'll do more proper techniques, like we'll use all the equipment as opposed to just traveling all day. We'll do the surveys, we're learning how to do sort of community engagement, plan the excavations in the first place, we're learning what happens after the excavation in terms of publicity, and that's another area that I'm really interested in, is public engagement, community involvement in archaeology and outreach. I can't talk. You guys know how much I love outreach. This is why I do this, and I have always wanted to bring that to us. So if forensics fails, I kind of want my own company, like going out to schools or going to museums or you like with a museum. I'm not sure. I don't know if it would work, but to actually teach archaeology and get people really enthused about it. The course is assessed purely modularly. Like each module is assessed in itself at the time. Did that make any sense? So assessments that I've handed in already, for example, are a 1,500 word report about DNA analysis and collection and all of the standards and ethics that go along with that. That was actually so much harder than I thought it was going to be, because I thought, oh, 1,500 words, easy peasy. No, it's actually so much harder because you have to learn how to really concisely write, and I don't think I'd quite mastered that before now, I'm not gonna lie. Ugh, squidge. We've also had an assignment where we had to write an expert witness report, which again is the first time I've ever done anything like that before. We had to take the stance of a forensic archaeologist and write a full report about, you know, the evidence that we found, what it might mean, and learn how to present information as we would to a court. I've also done an exam, as I said, that was in reasoning, so it was kind of half statistics, half logic, setting up experiments and then learning how to discuss the data, learning how to discuss graphs. I genuinely thought it was going to be so much harder than it was, and I struggled a lot of times, but also just gotta stick at it. Like, I got it in the end, and I could do you a t-test right now if you wanted. I could do a z-test, I could do your likelihood ratio and use this absolutely frick off massive formula that when I first saw it I cried. Like, I genuinely looked at it and cried, and I used it in my exam. Growth. This is not enough stuff. Oh, I've got my underwear, people. My course is 1 year long. It runs from October 1st-ish to August 30th. August 30th is the hand-in date for my dissertation. Actually, I didn't mention that. The dissertation is worth, I think, 40% of my overall grade, and without the dis, or the personal project, whatever they call it, without that I can only get, I think, a PG cert, and I can either write a 20,000 word thesis or an 8,000 word article that is meant to be like just sent off for publishing straight away. Just wanted to point out, I've been doing this entire video with Harry Styles stuck in my head. That's not gonna fit! it does. The Canon like it. I don't know if I need more things. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I know a lot of you were wanting to know what I do, and that is what I do. Do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe to my channel if you don't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. I just fell. Oops.